What up, what up, what up? So the reason I'm making this video is because I want to inform people about where we are headed economically, what's happening currently as far as in the economic transition. Um, also explain what cryptocurrencies are and explain the role, the major role that cryptocurrencies play in the coming economic transition. So I just want to share information so that people can't say, man, if I only knew this information back then, I would have done this and that. So now it's your job to take the initiative to do your own research. You have to pay your dues into this new aspect of knowledge, of information, right? If you want to get ahead in life, you need to again take the initiative, learn the information that you're going to get from this video, and go out and do your own research to add on top of the information that you got from this video. My disclaimer is I'm going to be doing a lot of rambling. I am under the influence. It is what it is, but it's going to help my thoughts to flow. But I guarantee you, by the time you finish watching this video, you will have a better understanding of economics, the entire economic system, how money works, and how cryptocurrencies, again, is going to play a major role in the coming economic transition. And I'm going to explain to you how these things take hold in the agenda and these steps. But basically, I'm going to be giving you a lot of knowledge that, again, you're not going to hear anywhere else. So I advise you to, if you're interested in this type of information in economics and money and how to get ahead in life and just how to think strategically so that you can get ahead in life, then this is the video for you. And again, do what you will with the information. It's up to you to take the initiative to do the further research. But without further ado, let's just listen, right? If you got to pause the video, pause. If you have to take notes, do whatever you have to do. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to talk, so it's going to sound like a lot of rambling, but just listen to the information, right? So back in the day, when we had stores, right? And this is right after the transition from using gold as a form of money or as a form of payment to using fiat currency or paper currency, right? So paper currency, the dollar, is called fiat currency. And what fiat currency was supposed to be, or is, well, not so much anymore, but the notion was it's supposed to be a medium of exchange, and it's supposed to represent the value of real money during that time, which was gold. So essentially, money or gold backed fiat currency or backed the dollar. So a person can say this much amount of dollars is worth this many ounces of gold, or this value of gold, right? So we got away from gold because using gold as a money or as a currency, gold is heavy. You don't want to walk into a grocery store with a block full of gold and try to buy a piece of bread. You want your money to be divisible, right? You want to be able to break your money down into smaller units. And that's what we did, so we got away from the gold bars, and then we transitioned to gold coins, right? Because it was then divisible. So now I can take my $1,800 gold brick. I can break that down into a bunch of little gold coins. And now I have, $10 gold coin that I can purchase this bread or this milk with. But again, we got away from the gold because gold, it's kind of heavy. You don't want to be walking around with a pocket full of gold. It's too heavy. But the good thing about gold is that gold has utility. And that's one of the aspects that make gold a great form of currency is the fact that it has utility. And what I mean by that is, and this is one of the reasons why fiat currency or the dollar is fiat currency, is a medium of exchange, because it doesn't have utility. And you'll understand what I mean by that. So gold is pliable. You can fashion gold to be a home decor item, right? You can fashion gold into a piece of jewelry to look beautiful on your hand, right? You can implement gold into every single cellular device, every single electronic device, because gold just so happens to be a good conductor of electrons and a good dissipator of heat, because again, gold has utility. So gold in and of itself had that type of value because not only was it expensive and difficult to mine gold, it had great utility, and it held its value because of that utility, right? So, but we got away from gold. We got into fiat currency, paper currency. And so now when we started going to grocery stores and we were purchasing goods, we were purchasing bread, the cashier or the merchant would have to write down all of the goods that were sold and the price of those goods onto a sheet of paper as each transaction occurred. And then at the end of the night, if they had 10 people to walk into their store, they had these 10 transactions. Well, I need to find a way to figure out how many items were sold versus how much inventory I need to buy, right? Because if you look at the overall, the economic system in its most simplest terms is all about your buy orders versus your sell orders. If you have more buy orders than you have sell orders, well, then you will have a flourishing business, right? You have more buy orders than sell orders. So if you're a grocery store, you need more people buying your goods or buying your groceries than you have expenses. Then you have your utility bill. You have to pay your employees, health insurance. All of those expenses, consider those expenses to be sell orders. So you need more buy orders than sell orders in order to have a flourishing business. So you need to find a way to keep track of these transactions. So at the end of the night, the store owner would sit down and total up all of the items that were sold. And then they would, total up, how much money they made. And, the cycle repeats. But as you can see, as a human, writing each transactions down as they occur, it's kind of, you kind of hitting a brick wall soon, because you can only write down so much information. If you got 10 people standing in line, you don't have time to write down all of this information. And it's kind of a waste of money to pay somebody to write down all of this information as you do the transactions. So as a capitalistic society, we got smarter as a people, and we devised a cash register, right? And the cash register, the point of it was to speed up transactions and to take a receipt of those transactions, right? You needed a way to organize those transactions so that they can easily be read by you, the human, so that you can see how much you sold or what was your buy orders versus your sell orders, so that you can ensure that you have way more buy orders than your sell orders or your expenses. Right. We came up with the cash register, which was awesome because it was able to speed up transactions. So it wasn't 10 people waiting in line for 10 minutes. It's now 10 people waiting in line for 2 minutes, because I can punch this calculation into the cash register. And then it can print me out a receipt. Save those receipts until the end of the night and use them to total up, my buy and sell orders. But again, as a people and as a capitalistic society, we needed to find a way for people to buy more goods. you needed to find a way to do more transactions. Well, how can we do more transactions? Because every time we do more transactions, and if you have more people doing transactions, that's more money in the pot, essentially. So if it's more money in the pot, because more people are doing transactions, then that means it's more money that I can potentially capitalize on, right? I can make money now. I can make more money than I could make previously because I devised a way to have more transactions occurring. So with fiat currency, with the medium of exchange, again, it used to be backed by gold, meaning, again, for this $1 bill is worth this many ounces of gold, right? But since it was taken, since the fiat currency or the dollar bill was taken off of the gold standard, it's now not backed by anything. But one issue with fiat currency, although minor, transportability. If it's only paper that exists or fiat currency and I want to go make a large purchase, do you think that I want to carry around $100,000 on my person? No, because somebody can rob you. They can take your money. It's hard to hide $100,000, $500,000, $1 million. If you are making a large purchase, it's hard to hide that much money. So we needed to find a way to not only be able to transport money at a more efficient and proficient rate, we needed to be able to increase transactions. We needed more transactions to occur because, again, as a capitalistic society, if I am the people at the top pulling the strings, and I know that, again, the more money that's in the pot or the larger the market cap, the more money I can potentially make. I can charge fees for every transaction. So again, some smart people got together and they devised a plan, and we came out with the banking system. And with the banking system, the coolest thing that evolved from that was not only were you able to take all of the money that you had at your crib and store it in the banks to keep it safe, right? So that nobody can kick your door in at your home and rob you. You were able to keep it safe. But not only that, one of the good things that evolved was we were able to create transactions digitally now using a debit card. So when debit cards came out, this was the first form of digital currency or digital payments, right? This was the first form of it. But in order to process all of those transactions, because now everyone is going to walk around with their debit card on their person now. A lot of people wouldn't leave their home to make large purchases because they didn't want to walk around with a bunch of cash in their pocket. Somebody can hit you over the head and steal your money. But if you have a debit card, very small, right? You can walk around and no one would know how much money is on your debit card, right? So it was easily transportable. And also with the transportability, more people are going to transact now because it's easily transportable. And now I have a form of security as well. So I'm going to conduct more transactions, right, on a daily basis. More transactions are going to occur because we were able to create a system to where everyone buys into the idea of let us protect your money. Use these debit cards here to do your transactions. And it was smart because more transactions occurred. But in order to keep track of all of the transactions, so every single debit card that's swiped that information has to go somewhere, right? You need to find a way to read all of those transactions. You need to find a way to decode all of those transactions. You need to find a way to confirm all of those transactions. You need to find a way to be able to go back and validate all of those transactions, right? You needed to create, since debit cards are a digital form of payment, you need to find a way to digitally centralize all of the transactions so that they can be processed. And what I mean by process is you need a way to centralize all of the transactions so that people will know that their business, that John Doe purchased $50 of food at Chipotle. I need that information if I'm a business owner of Chipotle. I personally can't keep track of all of the transactions manually by writing them down. My cash register can only do but so much. And I'm not going to add up all of those receipts at the end of the night because it's too time consuming and it's not the best use of my time. Let me use technology, right? I need to create a system to read the information or create an algorithm to read the information, create an algorithm or computer application to read an Excel spreadsheet, to read data or data sets. So us as a people, we created a network to process debit card payments. That network that we created was called the Automated Clearinghouse Network, the ACH. That's what the Automated Clearinghouse Network does. It centralizes all of the transactions and it processes all the transactions so that you know that John Doe spent $50 at Chipotle. What they learned was that based upon the number of transactions that occur on a daily basis, and based on the functionality of our computer algorithm and how efficient it is with reading data sets or reading transactions, we determined that if we send transactions daily in batches of 7 every single day, we determined that we can process and confirm all transactions in 2 to 3 business days. So this is why when you swipe your debit card and you purchase anything with your debit card online or at a physical store, the transaction in your bank account will say pending. But again, as a capitalistic society, we devised a way to make money, to capitalize off of bank cards, debit cards. And not only did we find a way to capitalize, we did it in such a way that it is exponential capitalization because we have exponential growth when it comes to people using debit cards. Every day, this decade ago, every day people were discovering debit cards and using debit cards, and it was growing more and more people were using debit cards. And so they said to merchants at the stores and business owners, they said, merchants, well, since people have the ability to come into your store with just a debit card, a plastic card, and purchase goods and purchase bread and milk from your store just for that comfortability of people being able to do that so easily now. Whereas before they had these heavy gold bars and these heavy gold coins and a bunch of fiat currency dollars everywhere. Well, now they just have a plastic card. And because of that comfortability, because it makes their lives easier and your lives easier, I'm going to charge you a fee for processing your transactions for you. Because again, you can't manually keep track of them. So I'm going to charge you a fee. So every time we do a transaction with our debit card, the merchant gets charged a fee, right? Let's say the fee is 75 cents. So every time somebody swipes their card to do a transaction online, what have you, that merchant has to pay 75 cents. again, we are a capitalistic society. And if the people at the top are pulling the strings and they say that, you know what, we need to find a way to increase the pot of money, to increase the market cap so that we can incur more transactions so that we can make more fees. Right. And what I mean by fees are, again, when you swipe your card at stores, that merchant gets charged some type of fee, some amount of a fee. Right. And also what I mean by fees is when you have your money in your checking account, it's doing the bank no good if it's just sitting there for an extended period of time. Meaning, if you do not have at least $1,500 in your checking account, we, the bank, are going to charge you a $10 monthly maintenance fee just because we had to use our computer system, our network, to look into your checking account and verify that, yes, you have that money in your account and it's still there. No one stole your money. Because we had to use our manpower, processing power, well, we're going to charge you a $10 fee. Well, a lot of people are broke these days, right? You know, I don't mean to bash nobody, but and this is the reason why I'm making this video, right? So people can understand, you know, how to think so they can amass wealth, right? So if I need to cause more transactions, I need to devise a plan to get more debit cards or wallets, or get more of the digital form of money into people's hands. But we're going to step it up a notch. What we're going to do is we're going to come up with an idea, a new way of banking, right? That allows us to make money from nothing because people are doing more transactions. So we're making money from the fees. So that new idea that came about in banking was called fractional reserve banking. And the idea of fractional reserve banking is, well, if $10 is put into this bank account, well, then the bank can then loan out $90. And what I mean by loan out is loan out $90 on a credit card to somebody. Loan out $90 on a mortgage, right? Loan out money. So with the idea, a notion with fractional reserve banking, as a capitalistic society, we devised a plan to make money from fake money, or no money, really, if you think about it. And we're going to then create credit cards. And with that extra money, we're going to put it on these credit cards. And of course, we got to be strategic, because life is about, or business is about, buy orders versus your sell orders. I have to create a criteria or a credit report or a credit score to determine whether we can lend money to you or not, or whether we can trust you as a borrower of this money. Will you pay us this money back? So we devised the credit report to determine whether you are an eligible candidate getting money on your credit card, right? But that allowed with getting people free money. If I gave a person a $5,000 credit card, right? That person that has this $5,000 credit card, if they don't really have an understanding of money, if they really don't have discipline in their life, if they don't have focus in life, well, then they'll take that $5,000 and blow that money, right? And so they will make a lot of transactions, right? And so with a lot of transactions happening, with more transactions happening, because in their bank account, they only have $100 in their bank account, but on a credit card, they have $5,000. So common sense will tell us that it's more transactions that are going to happen on this $5,000 credit card than this $100 wallet from your debit card or your checking account, right? And again, we were able to devise this plan because we know that, again, business is about buy orders and sell orders. And they were hoping, of course, that we can make more money from transaction fees and make more money from people paying us back interest on these loans, interest on credit cards, interest on loans, that we were betting that people will pay us more money or buy more than us expensing or giving people free money, right? So I know the market cap of gold, what the amount of gold that's in circulation times the price, that's the market cap. I can determine what the market cap of fiat currency is. Well, the amount of fiat currency that's currently in circulation times the price. So I can get the market cap. I can see what the pot is. I see how much money is in this pot. So they saw how much money could be added to the automated clearinghouse pot or the debit card system pot or the banking pot by creating fractional reserve banking and lending and borrowing. Well, if you have more transactions occurring because people have credit cards, again, if I'm a capitalistic society, I am going to charge you, again, a fee for processing these transactions. Well, again, you need to find a way, a computer algorithm, a computer application that can read data faster so that we can keep up with the amount of growth in transactions that's going to happen now with the manifestation of credit cards. So I need to make a network so that when these transactions occur, because it's going to be more than debit cards, I need to find a network or a computer algorithm that can process all of these transactions. And that network, I'm going to call it Visa network. Ooh, Visa, one of the most popular credit card vendors out there. The most popular, in fact. Visa, the Visa network. It's a network or a computer algorithm that's more efficient at reading transactions than the automated clearinghouse network. Not only do you have the Visa network, you have the MasterCard network, you have the American Express network, you have Discover network. These are all 4 major credit cards. And they run on their own, they have their own network, right? So the network, again, it just centralizes information, it centralizes data, it centralizes transactions, and it's able to read through all of the transactions faster so it can service more people, so it can do more transactions, so you can confirm and validate that John Doe was the person that went to Chipotle and spent $50. So Chipotle as a business can keep track of its buy and sell orders, right? And again, as a capitalistic society, you know that you have this potential because the pot is bigger, because now the market cap is, well, the amount of credit cards that's in circulation times the amount of money that we placed on these credit cards. Well, that amount of money is now in this pot because we expect people to pay us back all of that money and then some because we put some interest on top. So now we got a bigger pot. So you have some merchants that's like some grocery stores that you go to. Now, we don't take American Express because American Express, their fees are too high. Because, again, the network is all about how many transactions per second can you process. So Visa network, it can process 1,700 transactions per second. The Visa network can process 1,700 transactions per second. Way more than the 7 batches a day that were being sent to the automated clearinghouse network to be processed. So as a credit card system, I can't use the automated clearinghouse network. I have to use a faster network or a faster algorithm or a faster computer application that can process information faster, a faster network. So I devised, again, the Visa network, which can process 1,700 transactions per second. And this is one of the things that make Visa the top dog to this day, because it can process more transactions per second than the other credit card networks. Again, I'm a merchant. I'm being charged a fee every time I have a person swipe their credit card. I'm paying a fee as a merchant because for the simple fact that we gave people this free money in the fact that we gave them more money than they potentially have in their checking account, so it's going to be more fees. We're going to charge you, merchant, a higher fee now than what we were charging you with the debit cards. So the credit card started making money. Economy started blowing up. We've been this way economically for a long time. So, and this video is long as hell. Oh, Lord, forgive me. But again, I'm just letting it flow. So I need to capitalize off of this extra pot of money, this market cap, right? So if I know, and this is where it gets good, this is where we get into the cryptocurrency part of it. If I know that we are moving into a digital age, meaning if I know more transactions are going to occur over the web than they're going to occur physically at a physical establishment, then I know that there are going to be more transactions, because most people rather buy these small items from their home and spend frivolously, you know, from the couch than to get up and go into the store and drive. And that's annoying. I don't want to do that. I'd rather be comfortable on my couch. So I know there's going to be more transactions. And then with COVID, everybody is sitting home now. More people are doing transactions online. Well, if you have more people sitting home doing more transactions online, and more people are using digital forms of payment, meaning they're using their debit cards and their credit cards, well, the Visa network can only process 1,700 transactions per second. So it's not going to be able to process if globally everybody started purchasing more goods online. So if everybody had a way to purchase goods online, well, it's going to be more transactions. But we got to step it up a notch when we create this new economy, right? We got to step it up a notch because the banking system was able to be defrauded out of billions of dollars every year. The credit card system was able to be defrauded out of billions of dollars every year. But let's slowly and strategically guide the sheeple, right? Guide the sheeple into doing what we need them to do in order to move into the direction and get to the final destination that we need to get to. So we have fingerprints on our cell phones. We have facial readers on our cell phones. So this new network that we devised that can handle more transactions also needs to be able to stop fraud, because again, we know economically it's about buy orders and sell orders. If you have more people defrauding you or stealing your money, well, then your buy orders are lower, or your financial sheets is clouded because you don't really know how much money you could potentially have because you're losing a lot of it from fraud. It still continues to be defrauded out of billions of dollars every single year. So what can we do to stop this? Well, we can validate all transactions biologically via a thumbprint and via facial recognition. So therefore, John Doe can't sit up here and say that he didn't buy this Chipotle he didn't spend $50 at Chipotle to buy this food, right? He can't say he didn't do it. Or it shows that in the system, the data and where the transactions go, that it was your biological fingerprint that confirmed the transactions. So we are able to stop fraud immediately. So if credit card systems or the Visa network or the automated clearinghouse network, if these networks can't keep up with the amount of digital transactions that we know are going to happen in the future, because we know that the market cap of people spending money digitally is higher than people physically going into stores, well, we need to find a network that can process all those transactions. This video is long as shit. So in order to process all of those transactions, we need to define a network. Oh, the Bitcoin network. The Bitcoin network. Well, the Ethereum network. Don't these networks or network that should ring a bell? Because we had the Visa network. We had the automated clearinghouse network. As you can see, there were transitions that happened all along the way. When we started transitioning from gold to fiat currency, there was people lost in the sauce. They're like, what the hell, you using fiat currency? What is paper dollar? What is that? So they weren't able to take advantage of the transition period and things that took place, right? They weren't able to capitalize. When fiat currency transferred to the banking system, well, it was people lost in the sauce. Debit cards. What is a debit card? What a debit card? They're not keeping up with what's happening, right, in life. The networks, that should sound familiar. So we transition from fiat currency to banking system, from banking system to credit cards, and from credit cards to a faster, more efficient, and defraudable system or network. And we called that Bitcoin when we first created the first digital network, or the first blockchain. That's the name, the underlying technology, right? Blockchain. And so we learned that, okay, yeah, you can't defraud the Bitcoin, but the issue with the Bitcoin is that it doesn't process transactions fast enough. Well, the Bitcoin only processes 7 transactions per second. Well, if we're going to have a defraudable network, well, we need it to process digitally the global amount of transactions that's going to occur on this network. And globally, we estimate, I don't know what that number is, but we estimate that it's going to be this. So we need it to process, or be able to process, a certain number of transactions. You have the Ethereum network. I can't remember exactly how many transactions that it processes per second, but somewhere in the realm, if I'm not mistaken, no more than 30 transactions per second, right? So if Ethereum can only process 30 transactions per second, you catch my drift. You need to understand things that are at play in cryptocurrencies, cryptography, encoded language, so that it can't be defrauded and you can go back and validate every single transaction because you created a computer algorithm to do so. We got smart as a people, of course. So essentially what I'm getting at is, you saw the transition from gold, gold coins, debase of gold, putting weaker or lesser metals in the gold, debasing it, right? Copper coins, fiat currency, dollars, medium of exchange, banking, debit cards, credit cards, automated clearinghouse network, the Visa network, MasterCard network, American Express network, Discover network. And then we're moving into a digital age where it's going to be more transactions digitally. So we need to create more transactions. We need to capitalize off those transactions and cause more fees to occur. Not only that, we needed a network to, again, keep up globally with where we're going. And that's how you need to look at cryptocurrencies. The overall network, what overall network is good, that can process transactions, and look at all of the other aspects that made Visa the #1 or top dog network, and what made MasterCard secondary, what made these networks stand out. Because then you'll be able to determine, you'll be able to forecast that, oh, it would make more sense for economically us to move in this direction because this network exemplifies the same aspects that the Visa network, the MasterCard, American Express. It was, I'm sure, dozens of other networks, but they didn't take hold, right? Like Visa, Discover, right? They didn't take hold. So that's how you should compare cryptocurrency networks. Your Bitcoin network, your Ethereum network, your Cardano network, your Elrond network. You need to look at all of those aspects. Look at, does this have the ability to link different networks together? Does it have a bridge? Does it have interoperability? Can we link metaverses together? You heard Facebook is changing the name to Meta. I think that already took effect already, right? Virtual reality world. Virtual reality world meaning in order to pay for things, you need a virtual reality currency or a digital currency, a digital form of payment or a digital network that's going to be able to keep up with all of the transactions. In order to keep up with all of the transactions, you need to devise a computer algorithm to do so, to be more efficient. You see that cryptocurrencies is going to be the new economic model or the form of digital currency, not credit cards and not debit cards. It's going to be cryptocurrencies. And the same economic setup that the banking system had or has, the same thing will happen with cryptocurrencies, which is why in cryptocurrencies you have exchanges. If cryptocurrencies are taking hold, why miss out? Matter of fact, I feel like I just gave up too much information already. I've been doing a lot of rambling. I'm going to continue making a lot of these videos because I feel like I need to get this information out just so that my people don't miss out on any opportunities. Now, as far as people who just want to continue to be spoon fed and just come to you or me, or just not actually take initiative to listen to this information and then go out and do their own research and add on to the information that I already learned from this video, since those people don't take the initiative to do so, I'm not worried about those people. I'm not spoon feeding those people, but what I want to do is help the ones that are willing to take initiative and are hustlers and are go-getters and are trying to advance in life and level up in life. Because again, you already know my motto is health, wealth, and knowledge. Those are my three pinnacles. Is health, wealth, and knowledge. And so you got to have the knowledge aspect in order to continue leveling up in life. And so I hope that this information was able to at least get your brain going, get your brain jogging. Again, like I said, I'm going to continue these videos for those, again, that have the focus, that can sit down and watch 40, 50 minute, hour long video. But I'm done. I'm tired of talking. Peace.